The question is, who do I think are the heroes, the real heroes in today's society? Well, they might surprise a lot of people because a lot of people feel much differently than I do. But I've been around for a while and I've seen it all. I've been there and done that. And so my take is that today's heroes will probably not go to the White House. They won't be covered by a television or radio or a podcast perhaps like this. They won't be covered by the media because they're so busy helping other people on a daily basis that they neither seek nor gain the attention of the media because they're just too busy serving every day, the soup kitchen of life. Somebody would be reminding me would be a school teacher. Goes to school every day, doesn't matter what grade, kindergarten on up, maybe even preschool, maybe even just babysitting, and someone who devotes their day and time to benefiting the people that they serve unselfishly. Oh, they may get paid and maybe they do that for a living, but they're passionate about it and so passionate that they're not clock watchers. I remember spending the day at a neonatal nurse facility. I was visiting my prematurely born grandnieces. There were 4 of them. So the quadruplets were born and they were very undersized. You could fit one little baby in the palm of your hand almost. And so I was observing through the window the neonatal nurses. And they had their gloves on. They were taking care of these premature babies. And I noticed it was maybe 15 after 5, 20 after 4, quarter of 6. But they weren't punching a time clock in and out. So they finished their job and then they go home. They were so engaged in what they were doing that time was not of the essence. What they were doing was of the essence. And so a neonatal nurse, somebody that works in the emergency room, a school teacher at any grade, at any age. And I remember one music teacher that I read about. And her students were telling her, I think they were middle teens, they could have been junior high school. And she was an incredible pianist. And she had an absolutely marvelous nightingale, beautiful singing voice, as beautiful as any of the children had heard. And they said to her, Miss Edwards, you should be on stage. You should be performing. You have such great talent. You have such a beautiful voice. You could be performing in front of millions on TV or on the stage, and you could be earning a lot of money. You could be famous and rich. And she smiled and laughed and she said, well, maybe, maybe not, but that's not what I'm all about. You see, I love you children. I love teaching children. I love playing the piano. I love the music. I love teaching music, expressing and expanding music, and I love being your music teacher. And that gives me the greatest thrill in life. And I thought about people like her and people like emergency room people. I thought of bus drivers. I thought of people who are helpful. I thought of people who give up their seats for a older or a person in need. I thought of somebody helping somebody across the street, of somebody stopping to help someone get up. I thought of all the people who every day, in every way, do something that enhances life itself, that with their own God-given talents, they express a desire to serve life and make life a bit better. I know Einstein said some wonderful things. He said, strange is our situation here on the earth. We're here for just a little while, not knowing exactly where we came from or where we're going or why we're here, except for the fact that it makes sense in the relative scheme of things that we're here to make life breathe a little easier for someone else, to make life breathe a little easier for someone else. the great physicist Albert Einstein. I think almost everyone, when they come to the 90th year, if they're fortunate enough to live a long life like I have, they're very grateful for having been given the gift of life. And so I think they're very, very humble. And I think a hero has no room for conceit, hubris, to be powerful in the eyes of others, significant in the eyes of others, but only a courageous helper in a dire or simple situation requiring nurturing, compassion, giving, and helping that person become all he or she could be. Even a small act of kindness, to me, is an unsung hero. And the reason it'll never be covered is it's not a single event. They haven't rushed into a burning building. They haven't saved someone's life almost giving up their own. But they haven't sacrificed a part of their body for that. Although there are many heroes in life who do that, and I, among all people, having been brought up during World War II in the late 1930s, the 1940s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, being through World War II, being through just after the Depression, coming from a relatively poor family, not having much in the way of any financial benefits, and yet always seeing the good in other people and other things. So the unsung heroes are my special people. I see them every day doing things for other people unselfishly, just as servant leaders instead of status seekers. So that is my definition of who the real heroes are today. They're not the ones that are getting the big dollars, getting the big coverage on the media. They're not the celebrities. And some celebrities are good role models and some are not. And some powerful business people are very humble and very giving and they make life better for people, and some are more selfish and more interested. But again, a hero in my opinion is someone who turns his or her camera of life out rather than turning the selfie in, and does not always have to be the center of attention or attraction. In fact, the perhaps greatest feeling is in the giving and the doing and in the helping. The self-satisfaction of living a life where your own value is expressed and given to others to make life more rich and valuable for other people. I'm not exactly a hero in the eyes of others, perhaps, but I want to be a hero to my children, a role model, a mentor, a coach. I want to set an example by my actions rather than just by my words. And I don't want to say, because I'm your father, do it, or because I say so, or because I'm your commander. I want to be able to say to people, because I've thought about it and I want to hear about it from you, and I want you to tell me your side of it. I want to listen to you. I want to listen to your need and listen to your want. And I want to try to be someone who encourages you and helps you rather than a critic. I want to be a coach, not a critic.